Hi, this is Tali, and welcome to buildaroo.com. I'm at the 2009 Greenbuild conference in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm standing at Squak Mountain Stone's booth with Amee, actually the founder and president and CEO of the company. And she's going to be talking to us about their recycled content countertops. So, Amee, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for coming by.
Great. So, let's talk about your products.
Yeah. So, Squak Mountain Stone started off as a master's project. It was an economics paper written about local economies, and the principle was developing a material that could actually be manufactured in any city in the United States, so that a company could then truly always be a local regional company. And so, instead of building a business that expands infinitely large in one location, its growth would be through local communities and going into these communities to manufacture the product. What happened was after I turned the paper in, the bug just couldn't get out of my head, and so I actually went into my garage and I started experimenting with a material called papercrete and trying to develop a commercially viable form of papercrete, which is traditionally newspaper shredded up with a big mixer and blended with cement. So the first versions of the material that came out of the shed looked like little dirty sponges, very lightweight, very porous, very gray, and a lot of people didn't think it was actually going to be something commercially viable. So after I started doing a lot of constant experimentation, I started to get something like a very hard stone. I added color to it. I started sanding on it and began to develop something that would be used as a hard surface for countertops and tables. I got funding in King County, Washington for testing for the material. So the story was picked up by a local newspaper that I was doing this in my garage, and the Environmental Home Center in Seattle, one of the first green building retailers in the country, read the article and actually contacted me and asked if there was a way they could help. And what they agreed to do was provide me with some beta customers so that I could further develop the material, understand how to manufacture it. And for the duration of 2004, really, operating first out of my garage and then out of a 3,000 square foot shop, I was casting about a project a month. And at the beginning of 2005, we actually started selling it through the Environmental Home Center locally. So we started off with local. 5 colors has always been the original material: paper, recycled glass. The low carbon cement was something that we adopted in 2006. Just started to grow from there, and we had a lot of good growth from that point. And then at the end of last year, I was actually contacted by another Seattle startup company that had another recycled content material under development. They were aware of the Squak Mountain Stone. They'd known that I had grown from the garage to production and asked if I could come in with that. And so we actually really met eye to eye that what we wanted to do was natural looking materials. And so the Trinity product is one that we just started to manufacture this year and launch this year, and it's another beautiful material. It's actually the yin and yang. You've got rustic of the Squak and you've got the highly polished of the Trinity lines, and we make them out of the Seattle, Washington area there.
So what's actually the composition of both of these stones?
Well, Squak Mountain Stone, using papercrete as the basis of it, it's actually mixed waste paper fibers, and if you actually look in the cross-section of it, you can actually see the waves and the blends. We don't pulp it, we don't bleach it. We get it from a nonprofit in Issaquah, Washington, and they provide jobs to folks with disabilities. And part of the paper when I started it was about not only conceptualizing a local material, but also one that had some social character to it. And so the intention was every time we buy paper, we're supporting an organization that's doing something for the community. The low carbon cement, and then glass. And then in this piece here, which won't reflect in the video, you can actually see the slight sheen and sparkle of the crushed glass that we use in here. In the Trinity product, it's actually also recycled glass, but we use a very fine aggregate. We use the low carbon cement as well. And then all of our pigments are either carbon graphite or iron oxides, which are recycled off of metals.
So what's the durability of these products?
Well, these products, because they all use cement as a binder, which is formed from limestone. It's a calcium carbonate base. It puts it in the family with marble, limestones, travertines. And all of those materials all perform the same if they're man-made or Mother Nature made. What you should expect is that they need to be sealed to prevent staining that can come from oils or from organic water-based stains. But because, again, the calcium base is different from a granite, it's actually prone to acid etching. And so if you leave lemons or vinegar or things like that on there, you'll get an etch, which is like a little bleach and a little bit of a chemical reaction on the surface there. And that can be prevented either by doing topical finishes on it, like acrylics, or by using waxes maybe to apply on it, or just kind of living with it. But these materials, they're changing living products. They're not stationary, static materials. And that's what we love about it, is because that they'll tell a story as somebody owns it and uses it. So
great. Okay, Amee, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This is Tali from buildaroo.com reporting to you from the 2009 Greenbuild conference in Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you for watching.